Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pillars of Eternity 2. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today because we have Irwin in the team, and she's talking. She is the leader, apparently. And yes, she's also equipped, and I'm ready to go. I have a lot of spells over here that I will have to get acquainted with. But you know, also, if you don't mind, I usually do this in between episodes, and I honestly should have done it. I just was so excited to start the episode because I spent a bunch of time dealing with her inventory. I usually save. I always save in between episodes, but this time I didn't. But anyway, we're moving to the migrants' place on a submarine. Takeo left us, so we spent all of that last episode dealing with that. And everybody's very sad. It was a pretty... Unfortunately, I think it was a general letter, not a letter specifically made for what we did. But if it were a letter specifically made for what we did, it would have been a pretty heartfelt letter. And I think it was a heartfelt letter anyway. But, you know, things are what they are. There is plenty of ocean to sail and many lands to explore. As I'm continuing what I was saying before. But what lies ahead of you dwarfs them all. Should you choose to sail on, you suspect there will be no return. Not to the Deadfire you have come to know. You set a course through the channel and into uncharted, turbulent seas. Undra's mortar rages on the horizon, a vast wall of roiling clouds and rain, punctuated by the silver flicker of lightning. The wind pushes against you, as if to ward whatever lies beyond from the submarine's approach. Right, I didn't name my submarine. I probably will do that as soon as I can. The submarine leads the fleet, crashing through the turbulent waters like an axe through armor. God's alive, Beaudul mutters, staring up at the storm. Jordi red-handed blinks at the blackening sky. New and old salt who claimed the mortar were the edge of the world. I called him a fool. Now, though, the navigator's head shakes sadly. Now I ain't so certain. Head bowed slightly, Eldangrim smiles today. Today's a good day as any to learn what the gods have in store for us. Shit, Captain, one of the hands cries. Hostile vessels inbound to forward port. With a shake of the head, Beaudul emits a grim chuckle. Suppose it'd be too much to ask to be let alone out here. The scale of the star of the Valiant Trading Company snaps. The scale and stars snap above many of the approaching ships, while others seem mercenary warships secured with Republic coin. The approaching fleet numbers are at least as many ships as your own, and maybe more. Beaudul frowns against the wind. The fleet's turning, Captain, setting their gun ports against the enemy. The hands look to you from their stations. Beaudul's eyes hold yours. The crew stands ready. What are the captain's orders? Well, I'm gonna inspect the fleet first. The Royal Deadfire Company dispatched over a dozen ships to support your cause, each a veritable masterwork of wood and metal, heavily armed and armored. Soldiers stand at attention on each junk, their rifles at their shoulders, while 100 bronze cannons gleam from within the ship's gunports. The Rukwapa warships, each sleek junk boasting their sleek junks, boasting a panoply of long-barreled cannons, the warships follow close behind. Almost 20 Valiant galleons charge toward you, supported by another dozen ships under mercenary flags. Each ship's ports open to reveal numerous dark-mouthed guns. Adair puffs on his pipe as he observes the enemy fleet from end to end. After taking a full accounting of the array of ships, he ashes his pipe, puts it away, and looks to you with a cheerful shrug. Maya holds out her arm for Ishiza. He flutters up to perch and nuzzle her cheek. She scratches under his feathers where he seems to enjoy it most. They share a locked gaze where something unspoken passes between them, something loving, duty-bound, and final. Then she turns to you and nods, resolute in facing whatever comes next. Shori raises her lantern before her like a shield of light. It flares once, brightly, in response, and she nods to you, ready. Despite her bravado, you notice a slight trembling in her hand. The cage of her lantern rattles as Shodi waits for the battle to begin. Let them fight it out. Take us into that storm. Oswald, the deck presses against your feet as the submarine comes about, the thunder of cannon fire vying with the thunder continuously rolling from the mortar. Your ship straightens, the bow pointed directly into the storm. You lurch forward as the deck pitches violently. You grab the aft rail to keep from going overboard. Beneath you, just below the surface of the water, swims some immense creature. It moves towards the battle, the water curling back like parted skin on either side of the beast to reveal a monstrosity not of flesh, but of slick adra and gleaming metal. Well, I was not expecting that. Is that an Ingwithan submarine? Because I think it's a monster. The surface of the water bulges and then bursts, and with a roar like the crash of the surf, a dragon explodes from the water. Oh, it's our friend! The familiar scaled form of Siorielafas sweeps low, wings outstretched just above the white-tipped waves before spraying its briny breath over the metallic monster. The monstrosity turns on the sea dragon, and they slam into one another, tearing at each other with tooth and fang. No, wait. No, the Adra is not the Adra dragon. It is an Adra dragon. It looks really cool, but our friend is here to fight it off. Essence. Oh, this is important. Essence is what the luminous Adra is made out of. Souls are made up of essence. As a resource, this soul matter is prized by animancers, whose experiments often require its use. And yeah, that's why I keep saying that luminous Adra is souls in there. Although, it's... The game does seem to have retconned that, so we'll see. Anyway, essence pours off of the pair as they pound one another with their abilities at point blank. Geordie red-handed gapes. Sweet merciful Ondra, I was not expecting that. Mess that bastard up good, shouts Rum-Dum Rigere. The hand turns back, pointing. Did you see that? We've got a goddamn dragon. Heck yeah, we have a goddamn dragon. Also, ramble about how God's Damned is probably not correct for a people that has a huge pantheon of gods, because even people who... I rambled about that already in this Let's Play. I'm not going to ramble about it again, because it's complicated, and I did not make the case for it just now, so if you disagree with me, I'm sure it's not just because I didn't explain it, but I didn't explain it. Anyway, now, while I hold the attention of these beings, Siorielefas, the voice of Siorielefas echoes among your thoughts. Our debts are cleared, Watcher. Beodul turns from the carnage. Captain, we might not get another chance. All hands look to you. Yep, Elthus threatens everything and everyone you know. Whatever you love, whatever you hold sacred, we're here to save it. Beodul nods, striding forward. Not a one of us, says Beodul. Not a one of us took this commission thinking we'd be heroes, but here we are. Let's show this oversized squall our true mettle. Ondra's mortar looms before you, or before and above you, dominating the whole of the world. Rain begins to fall. The storms of Ondra's mortar encompass the visible horizon. Hurricane winds roar like an imprisoned beast, blowing with enough force to warp the very seas. Past the curtain of rain and above the swell of waves, you can just barely perceive the outline of colossal Adra pillars. You initiate the dive process with a mixture of hope, apprehension, and disbelief. Air hisses as the ballast tanks fill with water. Groans of pressure emanate from somewhere in the hull, but your submersible gradually dips beneath the waves. You close your eyes and place your trust in Rawatayan engineering. Then, somewhere in the tight quarters, a bolt goes flying like a popped button and hits the far wall with a loud ping. All is silent. Slowly but surely, the propeller spools to life and carries you forward beneath the storms. You navigate around the trunks of massive Adra pillars rising from the seafloor, but the work of crossing Ondra's mortar is accomplished with ease. Finally, you spot the shape of a bulky landmass ahead. It's Ukaizo. You let out a sigh of relief. Ornate spires reach up from the island, hinting at the city within. Not all of Ukaizo has weathered the millennia with equal grace. Other structures jut and lean out of the surrounding swallows, making the waters around the island impassable by ship. You resolve to take a skiff the rest of the way. And we made it to legendary Ukaizo. I will be baffled if it is indeed made of gold, because that's just a legend. For El Dorado and for Ukaizo. It does have a lot of gold, so, you know, that's a thing. And we have a level up. Let's get Yodin back, or Edwin, sorry, to or up to scratch here. So we got Prestige, Protective Soul, Shared Nightmare. We're not going to go with any of those. We might not even go with any of the upper ones, really, because lower ones are really important, especially if I can figure out a way to get my whip to hit a little bit more often, because, you know, it's very important. Iron Wheel, Arms Bearer, Monastic, no. One-handed style, but I don't need that. Weapon and Shield would be an interesting one, honestly, so I could, if I need to defend. But I don't need to defend. What is Uncanny Luck? 5% of hits converted to crits. That's the one. Yes, absolutely, I need that. And we have a Stiletto. We have Blunderbuss. Let's get an Arquebus over here. Actually, let's not get an Arquebus. Let's get a pistol. Not that we have anything that matters for pistols, but Idwin is maximum level.
Happy to oblige.
And she's also the one that says things, so life is good. This pile of debris hums with ancient power. It does, I heard that. Yeah, you can hear it. Hello, Mr. Statue of Adra. Or not. No, you're not a Statue of Adra. Okay, everybody fight. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see what I can do here. So, we're alone. So the first thing we want to do is Borrowed Instinct. Let's look at 100%. It is immune to resolve... Not... What is...
We'll be hitting the water.
I'm not really sure if these ones are what I think they are. No Quarter, Borrowed Instinct actually landed, so we're good on that. And then we have Ice Strike, Tenuous Grasp, Shaken and Confused. That would be Resolve, though, so I don't need that. So Ice Strike is probably the one. Oh, 15%. Holy crap, this thing is resistant. No, 55%. Okay, let's get Ishiza around. I don't know what Ishiza's trying to do there. But everybody is sort of busy. We got other things coming this way, so that's bad news. Did you actually land that? Ice Strike actually landed. He lasts for a bunch of times, so I think we're going to be fine here. I'm just going to chill. And I think Ishiza might be about to die. I'm not really sure who you're trying to attack, but nice try. Ishiza seems to be the one he's trying to attack.
In the water.
So there at the front.
No rush.
This is going really well. This is the time now for you to do this. And you are going to do Mental Binding. That's not Dexterity. You have range.
Do you mind?
Mental Binding, it actually works. It's only immobilized, though, so not paralyzed. Let's get Ishiza not to die here.
Might as well be hitting the water.
So you don't have penetration, Maya? -3. Yeah. Well, just so happens that I have a thing for you. Although, are you... What's going on with you? Why can't you cast spells? Ability is disabled.
Try aiming next time.
Don't be smarky with... Smarky? Sure. Okay, so strong there is going to add to a bunch of things. Might, for sure. No, it didn't make the penetration any better. But at least the Ishiza's not taking damage. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Pain block. Who's taking damage? It's a Dare. Dare, doesn't matter. He doesn't take damage. Why would you have these disabled? What do you have right now? Venom Blood. It's a really cool death animation, by the way. And we have Living Iron and Adraban. That's pretty important. I need Pyrite, but that's pretty good. I think she has fully up. Oh no! Her armor is I went with the bound armor. Probably not the best idea. Definitely not the best idea. The kitchen stove is all upgraded. That is two-handed, right? It's one-handed. It's one-handed. I'm very smart. Did I actually get the thing that makes her good with a shield, though? I don't think I did. But I should upgrade the shield, though, especially since we have things like 30% chance when receiving damage. She doesn't actually take much damage. Yeah, this shield is sort of lame. Let's look at that. So, small shield is what I need. We don't have that many, unfortunately. We have Shimmer Scale. Some defenses against a bunch of things. Gaze attacks. It's really interesting. Because, you know, fire and gaze, it's against specific enemies. But this is exceptional, and she needs a better thing up here. Can't enchant. Oh, it's Pyrite still the issue. Well, I guess that's that. Okay, good.
A sure thing.
You're just getting a bunch of that. I mean, it's the end game, so I suppose it makes sense. So some of these creatures died, I would say, from old age. The thing is that, like, you can't hear the hum over there because I killed them. Let's zoom out, see what we're doing here. Our skiff is over there. Hiccup. We have a bunch of Adra. A live Adra, or live Adra. And here is Ukaizo. Holy crap. Moigueth, Grand Promenade, Undra Spire. Do you want to know a fun thing? A lot of archaeological names, or names for like archaeological places in a lot of prehistoric cities, are just sort of made up. And Grand Promenade sounds like the name of that, like an old archaeologist would give to, like, I don't know, the toilet paper factory or something. And it's always, look at this, it's so big, it's the Grand Promenade, clearly. And then 20 years later, archaeologists just end up finding out that the Grand Promenade turns out it was a toilet paper factory. And
it's even scarier than in my dreams.
And they just keep the name. That's just what happens. You keep the name, you don't change the name. It's the Grand Promenade. They made toilet paper at the Grand Promenade. Descending into the city would be suicide while the relentless storm rages on. Really? Well, I'm getting serious Dark Souls 1 vibes from here, DLC specifically. Erosion has softened the bronze features, giving the proud statue a brooding air. I don't know what happens to bronze, by the way. A furious storm obscures the sprawling city below, but you can make out the shape of a distant spire reaching up from the flooded ruins. Spirit winds tug on your soul with insistence, like a stern hand trying to pull a cloak from your back. You recall the last time you encountered a Bewick. It feels a lifetime ago. I'm gonna turn to my companion. So, here we are. You look to those who accompanied you this far, who risked everything to face the confrontation ahead. How are you feeling about all this, Adair? Adair's gaze wanders around among glinting archways and half-collapsed spires, his mouth agape.
Gilded Vale got its name from the way the wheat fields used to look in the sun. But this place really is gilded. Might as well be a different world.
In a way, it was, before it ended.
Ended. Yet here we are, all the same. These great people got a funny way of passing on. They disappear from the world, but leave their problems behind for the rest of us to deal with.
That's why we're here. We're going to face this. Whatever comes, we're going to see people through.
I guess maybe that's one good thing that's come out of this. Well, at least for me. I got something to do with my life that doesn't involve hauling or shoveling. I even got a friend or two out of it. Whole world's about to face the biggest test it ever saw. What Aethys is doing, it's gonna change everything. We may not survive. Kith, I mean. You know, I broke a wheel once too. First thing I thought of when we learned what Aethys was doing. My mom had this spinning wheel, and she loved it.
Adair bites his lower lip, his guilt still evident.
Well, I was playing with it in the way a young child might when his parents are out, and that wheel came right off. It wouldn't go back into place, so I pushed it harder, and pretty soon I'd broken off a spoke. Broke off 3 more trying to fix that. Anyway, I got whipped pretty good for it. That wheel was never the same, even after my dad fixed it.
Adair runs a pair of fingers back and forth across a beard in need of a trim.
I used to think of the gods as being like parents to all of us. And now I know better. They're children, playing while their folks are gone.
That's a great story. I love it. That's great. That's good Adair dialogue right there, and that's also really cool. A really cool metaphor. Adair looks to Aethys in the distance and sighs. Something on your mind, Shodi?
We gonna do this or what?
Shodi licks her chapped lips, dark gaze narrowing as she takes in the sight of the ancient city's ruins. Raised high, her lantern casts hard shadows over the plains of her face.
We've made it this far, yet we're still alive. Might as well square off with my god before our luck runs dry.
No matter what happens with Aethys, you've got my back, right? She doesn't answer for so long that you think she's not going to. And then she taps her blood-stained sickle against her thigh.
Sure do. If Gon wants you dead, I figure he can do it himself. Besides, the part of him that's been stomping through the Deadfire didn't much help me at Mogren's teeth.
She ruffles a shaky hand through her hair.
Tell me, Watcher, can there be a god of light and birth if souls themselves can no longer be reborn?
She points her lantern toward the shadowed ruins in the distance, Ukaizo's broken bones. You think we can reason with him?
It didn't work so good at Mogren's teeth, now. But sure, we can try to sway my god's will again. Well, if anyone could do it, I reckon it'd be you. I thought it'd be different how it turned out, but I couldn't dream of any other way.
Shodi sets her jaw grim.
Now then, shall we go face my god for one last time? Find out what it is we can or can't do in these end times. Whether we're meant to wither or thrive.
Yep, let's go.
Consider me your second shadow.
Shodi thumbs the copper cage of her lantern, a subconscious attempt to reassure herself. Maya, any thoughts?
So, here we stand on Lost Ukaizo.
Maya shoves her hand into her pockets, sighing. She glances around, wearing an unreadable expression. You expected more?
My parents gave me an earful about the horizon-spanning beaches and towers reaching beyond the stars.
She snorts, shaking her head.
All I can see is good folk tussling over a wasteland.
Time to confront Aethys, hopefully for the last time. You know what you're doing?
Well, if we can restore order to the Deadfire, this is the place to do it.
No time to waste then. I'm about as ready to confront a god as I'll ever be.
Maya smiles, but there's a lining of unease about it.
We're doing good work here. Setting foot on Ukaizo is a statement that no one can ignore. You should be proud. Captain,
She furrows her brow, searching for the right words.
You got us here in one piece. If there's a better compliment out there, I don't know what it is.
She nods, gesturing for you to go forward. Maya folds her arms and looks out on the city. She reaches down and pets Ishiza when he nuzzles her leg. But says nothing more. Well, if you want to leave forever, Edwin, following me here was not the way to do it.
It wasn't the threat of death my procedure sought to avoid, but that of rebirth. Now I face the god of rebirth, who's set on destroying the wheel. If I'd known in advance, perhaps I'd have held off on the experiment at sea.
Kinda sounds like you want Aethys to succeed.
Regardless, we are here now, and I stand ready. Let us finish this.
I think we're ready as we can be. Let's go. And let's end the episode as well, because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Pillars of Eternity 2. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.